What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So got something a little bit different for you guys today. You got the little cat here. It's kind of wet to be cutting timber right now, so I'll do a few little side things. If it has anything to do with trees, you might as well count me in. So got this small walnut here, a couple little pecan trees through here, that down pecan tree up there, and then those limbs on that side of the pecan tree there we got to take off. They're going to be running power from that pole there. They're going to be setting another pole right in here somewhere. So some of these trees are going to be in the way of the wire. Gentleman's building a new house up there on top of the hill. So yeah, it's not going to be my typical logging content, but there'll still be some trees falling and a little bit of equipment work to do. So nothing too out of the ordinary. Now it doesn't have a drain hole down there, so we want some cold feet here in about got the grapple skidder hauled home finally. And well, it's safe to say she's not happy about something. If I had to guess, I think it's going to probably be one of the main hydraulic lines under here. We're going to pull these steps off of here, drop this belly pan, and dig into it. All right, a little bit of time with the power washer later, and lots of bolts and unting and grunting. We got the hose that was leaking underneath the belly pan. Got the turning cylinder right here. Going to get it rebuilt. It's leaking real bad. Then I got one of the blade cylinders that I want to get rebuilt too while we're at it. Got it home. But looking like a new unit. Looking like $1 million, in my opinion. I'm gonna get up on the back of here, and I thought I took a time lapse of me taking everything off, but I guess I didn't. But I'm gonna get up on the back of here, get all these sticks and stuff off. You got a new leader or two to throw on. And I really should get the air compressor addressed while I'm here. I got it home, but I really don't know what the problem is. And I got a hold of Cat, and they said they'd try to find some parts for it, because I think it might just be a weak blow-off valve possibly, but I'm not sure on that, so have to get that addressed and figured out. But anywho, I'm gonna get off here, clean these sticks, and well, good morning. It's about a week later from tearing this thing apart. Got the new hose made, got the 2 cylinders rebuilt, and yeah, I'm gonna attempt to take a video of me putting this thing back together today. I filmed taking it apart last time, lost all the video. I don't know what happened to it. So we'll try this again. I don't think it's gonna be too bad. The worst thing's gonna be putting this belly pan back up there, but I figured out a pretty bulletproof way to do that. It has these 2 little D-rings on each side, and I just slide it underneath, take a ratchet strap up to the bar, or the limb riser, whatever you want to call it. I've always just called them bars. And another ratchet strap over to the other limb riser, and then you just work it up one side at a time until it gets to where it needs to be. And then we'll throw some bolts in it. So yeah, let's get to it. So this hose right here goes to the turning cylinder on the, well, what would be the passenger side. But I replaced it probably 3 months ago, had it zip tied up, and it got into the dry shaft here, and 8.5, and that's what it ended up being. So I told him to make it about 10 inches shorter, and he must have thought I said 10 inches longer, because now it's even longer than it was before. So considering the fact I've already spent, $90 on this hose 2 times now, I'm not going to take it off and get another one made. I'm just going to make sure it's zip tied up there even better this time. So have to figure out how to keep it from rubbing up against the tranny too much, and gotta make sure it stays out of this dry shaft as well. You take a piece, I'm sure lots of you guys already know this, but you take a old tire inner tube and cut a chunk out. You got a hose that's going to be rubbing up against the belly pan, just anything metal really. You take a piece of inner tube and wrap it around the hose. It'll eventually wear through the inner tube and start rubbing on your hose again. But you might gain a few extra months or year or so. So I always do it. For instance, I got this one. It's going to be rubbing right there on tranny. I don't really want that, so I can take this here and put it on there. All kinds of junk in your eyes doing this stuff. I like these heavy duty zip ties, but they're far too long to even hardly deal with, so I cut them down before I even put them on sometimes, especially for stuff like this here. Hopefully you got a walnut job to move this thing to within by the end of the week, I'll be close by.
This is what it feels like to give birth.
So we're right down here on the Kansas-Oklahoma line, picking up a handful of trees. We got number 28 right here. Kind of a squiggly little guy, but nice 17-inch tree. Won't take them much smaller than that without good reasoning, of course. But yeah, my hope is to pick up a few jobs down here, stay busy for a little while. But yeah, there's some good ones across the creek there. Here's a pretty good sized tree in front of me. Can't fit that one in the frame hardly. Only goes up about 10 foot before he gets a big old crotch in it. It's not a super high dollar tree, but not a bad tree nonetheless. Starting to get out of walnut season here, and this is how it goes. Now that we're getting out of walnut season, I'm walking a job right now. I think I just marked the last tree on it, tree number 50, and boy, there's some slammers on this job. I mean, just veneer 25, 30-inch trees, just some toads. There's a pecan tree over there that's, well, it won't let me zoom in, but it's giant. Some of these pecan, they just need to be cut. If I figure out how to get across this creek, I'd go show you. Now, don't get me wrong, I've cut some big trees in my lifetime, which is pretty short, but I've cut some big trees. But this right here might be one of the biggest pecans. Camera isn't going to do any justice to this tree, but gosh dang. Sucker's gotta be 100 foot tall. Hell, 33 inches, a 10-foot log probably. Then maybe some. But I'm not one for cutting a whole lot of native if I don't have to, but trees get to be that big. You know, it's like a person, you know, if Grandpa's 80, you know he don't probably have a whole lot longer. It's kind of the same thing with the tree, you know, they only get so big before they die. And that's just the reality of it. Big part of TSI, you know, timber stand improvement. Those big trees, they look neat, but eventually one day they're gonna go over, so you might as well get paid for them if you could get paid for them. Once again, the video is not going to do any justice for this tree, but it's probably a good 25-inch tree, but boy, it's tall. They don't get a whole lot taller than that, not at all. So you get kind of excited whenever you walk in a walnut like this, but it's going to keep me up at night knowing that I can't harvest them until 5-6 months from now. Then on top of that, you know, like I said, I'm in Kansas here. It's flat, and some of these flats and valleys, they'll catch a lot of wind, and with these trees being so tall, I'd hate to see them get blown in half. Or another thing I'm worried about on these trees is with them kind of being this little pasture that they're in, I'm really worried about them being shaky, because most of these things are, you know, 4 or 5 logs tall, you know, 9-10 foot logs. They're not short by any means at all. All right, feeling kind of naked here because I don't have my hat on, but I was going to see if that helps them any. No, not a whole lot, really. Kind of a short, stubbier one here, but my gosh. It's slick for probably 24 feet. Yeah, it's not a bad tree at all. Here's another one of these trees. Yeah, my hat's up there about 8 foot, believe it or not. Well, it's probably 7 foot or so. But probably 30-40 foot tall to the first crotch, and it's probably 19 inches up there, and then the first log here, it's got to be 27 inches or so. But slick, super slick tree. That's what I can see. Grab my hat. But yeah, I'll keep on walking here, see if we can't find some more like that.